Alright, hello guys, this is Demon coming back for another round of Transport Fever. I said I was going to end after this last recording, but I decided to keep playing because this is starting to interest the shit out of me. I want to see if I can beat this before 1970. Chances are I probably will not, but I want to see if I can maybe pull it off. The fuel production is not near capacity like I need it to be. Ooh, what is this new thing? Ooh, trains. Where did I build my little creature at? There she is. Is that a new train that I got access to that can be useful? Not really. Best thing I got is that bitch right there. Coach New Mexico, 18 passengers. Not bad. Matched with PAs and increased horsepower rating. Huh. Nice. Test flight 1 is nearly complete. Where is she at? I think she's doing one last run around. However, the fuel is starting to reach that location, so we're doing pretty good on that. Since I've actually increased production on tools, I think my best bet is to start putting more on the tool line. Now, I'm not too worried about what's going on in the rest of my map. Go ahead and go on that tool line, guys. Victoria, Vancouver, you could theoretically make a lot of money if you start doing the shipping in this game. Like, I could ship goods to these cities, build a facility for road transport, and then everybody suddenly gets rich on all this stuff. But currently I'm not too concerned with it. My only goal at this point is to try to fix everything. So the test flight is now finished. Go ahead and sell that aircraft, and we are going to do that. Other thing I'm going to quickly do is air travel. We're going to sell all of our current planes, and I'm going to be upgrading to the Boeing 737s. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys going. You are going to head on the air travel line because I have just gotten you, and I think as for speed, they do increase speed, so these guys are worth getting. Look at those babies go. He is heading out. We'll wait till he takes off before I actually get this thing added to the line. And that plane has to wait for them to finish, because these guys are coming in to be sold, because I don't want British planes, I want Americano. The last of the Comets are now sold, so we're going to add another Boeing to the line. As that one takes off, it'll be heading to the new location. Once this one takes off, same thing will be occurring. Can't imagine what it's like flying on one of these planes. Don't ever want to do it. Won't lie, I've never flown on a plane in all my life. I don't know if it's just because I don't trust them or if it's just I don't like them. Alright, good girl. Go ahead and take off. That plane should already be reaching. Yep, this plane has already reached the location. It will be turning around, get off the bit of that. What is this? Is that a truck? Do not tell me I just got a big truck. Ooh. I got trucks, guys. I'm happy. I want to use trucks. 308,000. Oh. Okay, I gotta mess with these lines then to get this to work. Alright, the zoo grain line. Is those guys still transporting grain there? Because I might just leave them doing their thing. Yeah, they are. I'm just gonna let them do it. I don't care. Alright, so, yeah, let's see if we can get this going. So this is sell, 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 Seattle construction line, sell, slag line, sell, steel line, sell, stone line, sell, tool line, sell, and I think that's everybody. Oh, plastic line. And let's go ahead and sell our guys doing this too. Let's see the stress release on these roads now all of a sudden. Look at that. Look at all the cars coming. Ching, 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 ching. I'm going to let everybody get out of here. Because somebody might be like, Demon, you're losing a whole bunch of money with no guys on this thing. I'll fix the lines here in a second. I want to get all these guys done. Because we didn't make it till 1970, so it kind of sucks I didn't get that, but I want to see how the trucks sell. Just look at that road. That's how many trucks I had out, people. That's a lot of trucks. And these guys were doing transportation of 13 goods at a time. What is the last truck that will be getting sold on this line? What kind of truck is it? The iron. That's... Well, actually it might not. Depends on who gets sold here last. Oh, nope. Another iron one just snuck up. That's good. That's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and buy the new trucks. Okay, you are going to head out on the iron runs. You will go to the iron line. You boys are going to be heading out on the coal line. Where is coal? There's coal. Head out on coal. You boys are going to be heading out on coal. I think we need stone. Go ahead now on the stone line. You guys can head out on the crude line. I might build 10 of these. Yeah, let's do 10. Good. You guys are going to head out on the crude line. Once that all said and done with, you guys are going to be heading out. Oh, let's make a decision on here. Go ahead and head out on the plastic line, because you know why? Because the train's still transporting goods there, meaning you can get the plastic without much of an issue. And then let's see what else we got here. There's probably some leftover goods still at the other places, which is fine. So let's put you guys on steel. Did I put anybody on the Seattle construction line? Yeah, no I did not. Let's go ahead and get the Seattle construction line set back up. Let's go ahead and get guys set up for the oil line. Is the oil? There she is. Go ahead and get me 5 more of these guys. We're going to put them up on the fuel line. And then get me an additional 5, and they're going to go on the fuel facility line. Oh yeah, look at that. And did I put anybody on the slag line? I probably did not. No. So we're going to have to get slag too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is slag? Slag. Are all my lines situated again? The tool line and the machine line. Let's get you guys on machines. machine line. And where are the tools? And of course, the very good tool line. Now let's let her run for a bit. Another thing I'm going to quickly do is just because I can do it, I'm going to increase production on coal and iron. I know that's going to be an issue here very shortly. Coal line and iron. Again, I know this will be an issue, so I'm getting these guys set up and ready to go now. Iron line. Group. Good. And I'm going to pause the game because I'm going to text my cousin real quick. Alright, so hopefully that's him done texting me. Let's let it flow. Look at these messes I've made. Good, good, build up. I love traffic jams. It's gonna take it a while to flow out again. Jesus, the traffic jams are gonna be thick. Now, at least the plastic and steel are separated from the machines and the tools. Yeah, because that's done. It'll come out. Oh, no, actually, no, that's fake news because... Oh, no, it did do it correct. Oh, good. Okay, so I've increased the iron, coal. I got 2 on crude. The oil's got 5. Stone's up. Okay, so everybody should be flowing out now. So these are brand new vehicles. I wonder what the cars look like back in the city now. Let's go check. I see a Volkswagen. What appears to be Austin Thomas. I don't even know what kind of truck that is, or car that is. Yeah, this is definitely this is late 70s cars. I can see people driving these. A lot of Volkswagens. Not German. I don't know if I should be impressed or terrified. I don't see many. I see Volkswagen Beetles everywhere. The flow of the game continues. Good, everything's fixed. I knew this was going to be a problem the moment I started this up. I was like, I'm going to have this giant pile up of resources kicking everywhere. Because that's what happens when you play this game and you switch all the vehicles out. It's the very moment you switch the vehicles out. That's when, like, that giant traffic jams start kicking in. Because everybody's got to go and travel to locations. They got to go pick up their goods. They got to go send them back out. They got to rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. However, there's one thing I am going to do. I'm going to build more trucks on crude. Because that is going to be a problem here soon. You guys go ahead and go more on crude line. Good job, boys. Good job. And it is flowing. What is that? Is that a faster train than the one I currently am using? Well, actually, it doesn't matter if it's faster or not, because the things it's pulling is not as fast. This thing goes 105 from 1972. Okay, so those must still be used even today. What are these? Okay, I've never seen these before. The Metro liners, as extra fare express trains became between Washington DC and New York City, use self-powered electric multiple unit cars. Oh, so these things are just so this thing has a top speed of 193 kilometers an hour. You don't connect anything to it, but it automatically transports people around the map. Oh, that's neat. I wonder if I could build that. Oh, that'd be neat. Like I build like an underground network that goes whee and goes over here, and then it connects through a bridge, goes back here to Victoria, and just like reconnects and goes in a circle. But that's what the planes are for at this point. Like, why the hell would you build that? It's like you're using air transport for everything. Alright, so the fuel and the oil are starting to pile back up. That's actually really good. And because I probably increased the crude supply, it's about to go ham. Coal still hasn't caught up yet, I think. given time, it will catch up again. Because there's a lot of trucks sitting in this facility. How's iron looking? Iron's doing fine. Just because these guys take in so many goods. Where the hell are you going? Wait a minute, what? Why'd you do a 180-degree turn on that? I don't think you turned that right. Because you have fuel. Oh, I see, because you're waiting for more reserves to kick in. Aha. Oh, so those guys don't use the other road. These guys take the long route and do the hook around because they think it's faster. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I guess going through the city it is faster in theory. Over $200 million in the bank. All because of trucks. A lot of construction materials building up, coal starting to pile up, stone starting to pile up. How about we do this? We'll do an additional 5 on stone. And actually, I probably should increase production on... Nah, it's too much. Let's just get rid of a lot of that construction material. Where is the facility? I need to get rid of that construction stuff. It's starting to pile up. Construction, 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 construction. It's probably a really well-used thing. So that is Seattle construction line. There you go, boys. Go get your construction material and go ham with it. I don't even care at this point. How's air travel doing? Are we on the green on everything? Air travel's fine. The fuel facility line is... The fuel line's not making me money at the moment. The oil line's not making me money. A lot of these that I switched out, I think, are making me money until it circulates for a bit. Yeah, because crude oil's doing fine now. It's just a matter of waiting for, like, the goods to start piling up. Like, coal's starting to get in excess of it, stone's got an excess. I think production's fine, I think it's just a matter of getting the goods done more. And this one's actually almost done already. I'm waiting to see which one. Actually, which one? Do you guys follow that road at all? It's actually a good question. Let me see if I can find a truck. Bitch. Bitch. Construction, construction. I think I only need one more guy to deliver the fuel. One of you guys got to do it. Haha, look at that traffic jam. How's plastic looking? Plastic's fine. It's getting its goods. Can I, like, sneak a road in by any chance? I'm curious. Haha, I found it. That might alleviate some of the traffic jams. Because what that'll do is if the guys want to get here to the plastic, they take that road. It gives them a direct link. They don't have to worry about the train taking off or not. They just slow down, do the turn, do another turn, they're on the plastic line. Then they use this road to get back on. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat.
The time has come. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Why am I launching
America
a rocket in
ready to
Seattle?
set foot on the moon, and we've made that possible.
Okay, I'm okay with launching this. Speed's on 1. But can anybody please explain to me why this facility is located in near Seattle? Look at that. What the fuck? Okay, it has nothing running. Okay, I guess he's not gonna talk. I thought he was gonna talk. So it says the time has come. Wait. Okay, I guess he isn't. So it says the time has come. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. America is ready to set foot on the moon, and we've made that possible. So that is the official end of Transport Fever's U.S. campaign. When we come back to this game, The next round of stuff we're going to be doing is going to be consistent with what do you call it, the European campaign. I've never played that one fully yet. I will say this much though for this game, for the at least the U.S. campaign for this is I really do enjoy this campaign. It's a fun campaign. It's challenging in certain spots, and I will say this much: if you play this game, don't overcomplicate shit. Once you figure out how like modes of transport work, travel work, stuff like that, it's actually a pretty easy game to make a lot of money on. One thing I would recommend if you're playing this game is the goal of it is to try to beat it in a certain time frame if you want to get all the medals. I don't consistently worry about that. My goal is just to beat the game at my own pace because I want to have fun. As I said, one person who was able to show me where this thing was at, and I saw it online, I could see that they had a lot of different builds compared to mine. If you notice me, I'm focusing a lot of my stuff on trucks. I don't have nearly as many goods focused in on trains. The only train line we had for this one compared to the other ones is all centered right here for the plastic line to import grain from, I would say it's an import because I'm getting it all the way from Vancouver, Canada. So in theory, I'm importing grain from up here to go and exporting it to the US down here in Seattle to make plastic. So that's one thing we've been doing a lot of. It was a pretty good idea to get a lot of this set in stone. I would say that the early game basically tries to make you waste a lot of money, like getting those comet planes done. If it was personally me, I didn't show you guys this stuff, but what I ended up doing, because I thought from a financial standpoint it made better use of my money, is don't drain your $50 million on these planes early. What I recommend is get your financial situation handled first, and then you're set. Because I didn't really show you guys anything I did, but what I ended up doing was I set up the food processing plant first because I was like, easy money, cheap, maybe an easy, cheap way of making money. Turns out in the end, the Vancouver food line went in the negative, so it really wasn't a financial, from a financial standpoint, it didn't give me much money. But the other thing I ran into a problem was I was trying to be financially savvy, and this is where the line's at. To get access to a large sum of food, it has to be near a lot of blue buildings within its reach. These are all the blue buildings. To build there would have cost me a fortune, so I decided not to do it because of that. If there's one thing I wish they had for it, is sort of like how there's the bus stop. I wish there was a smaller building, like a warehouse or something that's really small that you could fit inside these cities so you can maximize your profit. That way you're making a shit ton of money. Because if you look on Vancouver's food, let me see if I can get it to pop up. It's only at 6%. Now I could easily increase production on this to get me more money, but because of where the thing is located at, which is here, there's not a lot of money to be made. So even if I increase production by sending more guys out here to then send more back home to that food processing plant and then to that location, there's no money to be made. Other thing I did was I built this whole area out pretty good. I built all the necessary terminal locations, had everybody get set up. I didn't use it necessarily at first because what I ended up doing was I spent a fair bit of the money on this bridge to connect to the iron location. In comparison, if I had to look back at it, I'd say this is a real expensive thing to build, but with so much money at the early stage, it was kind of worth doing. The railroad tracks I built too. Be careful if you're building it. Like if you notice here, I had to build two separate spots. This one I tried to build, it said there was too much of a slope, so I couldn't build this here. So it irritated me and I built it this way, and it actually worked. Now, when you're building it, do be careful if you try to build something like mine. There's a lot of areas where it might become a bridge, and I tried to stop it as best I could, and I pretty much ended it up with no bridge and no tunnels being built. But again, you have to be very careful while you're building it along this line. There's a few spots on it where it slows down past the max 160 limit, like around some certain turns, like it immediately goes down. Like this section here slows down quite heavily. The section back here slows down quite heavily at this spot because of the massive turns. there and there. Otherwise, the speed limit kind of stays up pretty high. I did mess with the bus stop terminals a lot more, so I have this set up to be a little bit more efficient to get more people to go on these planes, which helped a lot in the end because it gave me a lot more money to work with because air travel was actually up. The other thing I would say is if you want to focus more on trains, you can focus on the trains. Just take note that it can get kind of expensive. That's why I did it under the trucks, because the trucks, even though you're now noticing it backing up, if you remember seeing it with the other ones, this was flowing like a well-oiled machine. I was getting all the goods in. It was you can make just as much money on the trucks as the trains. The trains are just a faster mode of transportation. Like the grain one currently is getting me a total of over $8.83 million in the green. Very good. It's making me a lot of money. Transports a lot of goods in a quick amount of time, but again, it's an expensive thing to do. And from my point of view, I had $50 million to work with, and then I had the loan. For what I got out of all that money, I'm 238 in the green. So it was worth me building a slower mode of transportation to get more of my money's worth. The other thing is I didn't focus on building trams this time around. I kind of wanted to build the trams, but I focused on the buses instead this time around. I would say this if you're going to do it. Don't wait to get the General Motors fishbowl one. I did the twin coaches. Now you might say, Demon, this one's faster. It is, but in reality, when you're going through these cities, the max speed limit I think is on a small street road is, what's that say? 30 kilometers an hour. So building it doesn't make much sense. The bigger roads, 50 kilometers an hour, so you're going your speed limit. The back roads are 650, or you're going 60. But there's such a minuscule amount that it doesn't actually matter. Now, if there's one thing I would say I would probably change is instead of having this set up as a normal bus stop, I would probably, if I go back to this, I'd probably build a bus station. You might say, why would you do that, Demon? Just because it could get more people here. I don't really like the bus stop that much because I don't know, visually it just doesn't look that good to have people standing there. I kind of like seeing people at a bus station more. But the buses are doing a pretty good job. I think there was only one that didn't make me money, the passenger line in Vancouver. It did go green for a little bit, then it went back into the red. The Victoria line did great, the Seattle line was in the green, so they were making me a little bit of funds to use. But yeah, that's the end of Transport Fever's US campaign. If you have enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Hopefully everybody is the same as me when it comes to certain aspects of the mission. Like this thing up here being at this resort area, or the, whatever the hell it was, the conference place. This is a very obscure place. If there's one aspect of the game I hope they change if they went in Transport Fever 2, and I will say it heavily, is if you have something like this going to get placed somewhere and it says in Seattle, connect a road to it. Put a marker on it, for Christ's sakes, because from a player's point of view, when you have, like, if I paused this, I could spend 20 minutes searching around this area, like, where the hell is this thing at? And there was no road connecting it to it, so if you're, like, seeing it from, like, all the way out here, this little gray thing out here doesn't really stand out to you. Now, if there was this giant bridge connecting here, I'd be like, oh, okay, so, oh, that's where that is. Maybe this is it. That's what I would think. Because unlike that one, the one they had up here for the NASA one, for the food for the monkeys, look how close it is. It's right next to the goddamn city. It's so easy to know where, oh, that's where that goes. While the one out here is like up in an obscure spot. So unless you've played this campaign before, or like you know what you're looking for building wise, it's like you're not going to see an obscure thing like that. But I would say besides that, I think this went well. I enjoyed this campaign. This is a fun little game to play. I do have to do a little update video next for the Shadow of Tomb Raider because I got to end it at the end of the last episode. So as I said, do please those things, guys, and when we come back, Europe is coming to you, and I will have a shit ton of fun playing it. So thank you, and I'll see you guys then.